At being in Dubai, you have to cover your whole arms. You cannot show your arms at all. You cannot show your legs. It will like slide tackle you and throw you to the side and kick you out of the mall.
We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Saf Martinique, aka Sapphire, and I'm back with another video. If you are interested in what it's like to live in Dubai or just the moving process, I think I should put that on silent. Just the general moving process of Dubai, then you have clicked on the correct video, because that is what today's video is all about. So I thought I would record this video because I've been in Dubai for around 4 months now. I moved here in October 2022, and I feel like I've been here enough time to kind of talk about my first impressions and what it's like as someone who has never lived in another country before. I feel like this is definitely the time for me to speak. I have put kind of all the general questions I get into categories, and I've just made like an overview, and I'm going to talk about each one so that I can share with you all the truth about moving to Dubai and living in Dubai and all things Dubai. I will be doing a number of these videos, so if I do not answer a question or query or something that's in your mind in this video, definitely comment down below or send me a message and I will answer it in another video. So let's get to it. Number one, the first thing that everyone is obsessed with, and the reason why a lot of people actually come to Dubai, is the tax-free salary. So you're probably thinking, it's too good to be true. There is no way that you have a tax-free salary. Well, you are wrong. The salary is tax-free here. So literally what it says on your job contract is what you'll be paid monthly, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. So if it says you're gonna get 15,000 dirhams a month, you will see that in your bank account every single month. However, I think the fact that Dubai offers tax-free salaries is made up, the tax-freeness is made up in, sorry, that was my air freshener, but it's made up in other ways. So for example, if you go out and you go and buy stuff, there is 5% tax charged on goods and services. So you may get tax-free salary, but other things tend to be more expensive, and it makes up for that tax-freeness. So the extra money is actually needed. Also, people have asked me about like jobs. Are there loads of jobs here, and how hard is it to get a job? And what I will say is there are tons of jobs here because there's loads of companies here, there's loads of opportunities here. They say Dubai is the land of opportunity. However, there is also a lot of competition. So just as there is loads of jobs, there are loads of people applying for them. Everybody and their mum wants to move to Dubai, and I completely understand, because where am I right now? I'm in Dubai. So you just have to keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that you won't get a job. It just means that it might be slightly harder. So there might be, you know, 20, 30 applicants for one position. So you just have to make yourself stand out a little bit more. And then, you know, you'll more than likely be successful. And also don't give up. If moving to Dubai is really your dream and it's something you want to do, then definitely persevere and keep going until you are successful. Because you may not get your first time around. I know with me, I applied to like 6 jobs to move here, and I heard back from 2. So I would definitely just keep going. So if you don't know, I think now's a good time for me to explain. I'm actually a secondary English teacher here in Dubai, and I applied for my job in September and I moved here in October. So between me applying, getting the job and moving, there was a short space of time, and I think that also kind of makes me a good person to ask about everything, because I didn't have all of that time to prepare, and everything was kind of like fast-paced for me. So that's another reason why I just wanted to share my experience, because I don't have the typical experience of applying for a job in January and leaving in July to start that job. The next thing I wanted to just speak about was the weather. So I have a lot of people always asking me about the weather here in Dubai, and you know, when people think of Dubai, they think, oh my god, it's like 100 degrees here, how do you function, how do you cope, and things like that. It's not always hot here in Dubai, and right now it's actually winter, so today is like 24 degrees, and it's definitely tolerable weather. It's more nicer, similar to like a summer in England, but it can get really hot. The good thing about Dubai is that there is AC everywhere. There's AC in the mall, there's AC in the gym, there's AC in the shopping places like the supermarkets, clothing shops, everything, places like that. There is AC in your car, there is AC in your home, there is AC in your job, there is literally AC everywhere. I even think they have AC at the bus stop, or certain bus stops or tram stops, train stations. Like there is AC literally everywhere, because Dubai will not function if there is no AC. Like people work here all year round, so AC has to be available, and because of that you're actually cold most of the time. Like I have never said I'm cold as much as I have being in Dubai, because the AC is always on. Obviously not in my apartment, but when I go to work, when I'm in the mall, I'm always cold. So you do not need to worry about how hot it is unless you're someone that likes outdoors. Then you may find it a little bit difficult when it starts to get warmer in like March times. Even then I think it's still tolerable. I've never been in Dubai during March, but I know in July it is very, very hot. I've been on holiday twice in July. It's hot. It's hot. You probably spend max 10 minutes outside, I'm not gonna lie. Like it is not bearable at all. So if you're an outdoors person, definitely keep that in mind, that during the summer months, or like end of spring, beginning of summer, all the way up until like October, it's very, very hot. And even like at school, the kids have break indoors because it's too hot for them to be outside. So just keep that in mind if you're an outdoorsy person. But with that being said, everything that you can do outdoors, you can definitely do indoors, because they have like indoor versions of it. So for example, there's like an indoor skiing place that you can go to. They have loads of like fitness centers and tracks and all different things. Like everything you can think of is probably here, and you will find it somewhere. So you will find something that will suit you. So don't worry about that. Right, so let's move on to the topic of clothing and ways of dressing, since we're talking about the weather. Another thing that people tend to have, or a misconception that people have, is that being in Dubai you have to cover your whole arms. You cannot show your arms at all, you cannot show your legs, you have to dress like, you know, very modestly. And to an extent that is true, but it's also depending on where you're going. So if you're going to the beach, it's absolutely fine for you to wear shorts, you know, wear a vest top, or like your bikini cover up with shorts. You just have to make sure that it's appropriate and that you're not obviously showing excessive skin. So most people, when they go to the beach, you don't just leave your house in your bikini. It's the same here. You wouldn't just leave your house in your bikini. You would wear, you know, whether it's a beach shirt or something like that, that is absolutely fine, because it's a beach. So people expect you to be in swimwear and things like that. So you don't have to worry about covering up in that aspect, or that scenario, should I say. If you're going to the mall, again, you would wear what's appropriate in the mall. Now the mall is very cold, very, very cold. So me personally, when I go to the mall, I always cover my arms, because I'm not trying to freeze to death, okay? Like the AC blasting in your face, like it's a no. Especially in the cinema, it's even colder than the mall. I don't know why, but every time I go cinema, I have goosebumps. So for me, I wear like jeans or cargos and a t-shirt, and with a jacket. Sometimes I'll wear like a hoodie and some gym leggings, things like that. That's absolutely fine. Dress how you would dress in the UK to go to Westfields, for example. That's how you dress here. It's exactly the same. Like, don't wear shorts to the mall. Even though you can, I've seen people, by the way, I have seen people wearing shorts in the mall. So it's not something that, you know, they will run and security will like slide tackle you and throw you to the side and kick you out of the mall. That doesn't happen, okay? If you're showing your shoulders, then you may get asked to cover your shoulders. I've seen that happen to a girl. She had to get a scarf to cover her shoulders, but more than likely you'll be fine. Just dress appropriately, use your common sense basically. Let's move on to the lifestyle. So in Dubai, people obviously have this assumption that you are coming here and you are here and you're gonna party. You are gonna go and buy LV bags and Hermes bags and Cartier rings, Cartier bracelets, Rolexes, driving in a Lamborghini, cruising down the highway in your Prada Sunnies. No, that is not the case, okay? Coming to Dubai, there is this perception of the country that is, you know, the luxury, lavish lifestyle. But when you live here, you realize that that's not the case. You get paid like an average salary where you can afford to live life comfortably, not lavishly, comfortably, okay? Depending on what job you do, obviously will determine how much money you get. But if you're like me, like a teacher, you're comfortable, you know, your rent is paid for you, so you don't have to worry about paying for your apartment, and the excess money you have will actually you end up spending it on other things. So where you save not paying tax and not paying rent, you actually then divert that money to other things, which I will get into in another video. So I'm actually filming a how much I spend in a month living in Dubai, and it's coming at the end of Feb. So definitely like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, notify bell, everything, so that you can go and check that video out, because I will be sharing all my monthly expenses for February. But back to the topic. When you live here, just like wherever you live, whether it's the UK, America, wherever, you won't spend every weekend going out. It's the same here. And to be honest, you wouldn't want to. Once you go to a few brunches, you're kind of over the concept of unlimited alcohol and food, and the music, it's quite samey. And you know, there are some good DJs in Dubai. Shout out DJ Scotty P. But you kind of get over it. Like the thought of constantly going out becomes boring, just like it does in the UK. So the lifestyle that you live here will be very comfortable. You'll be happy. You can go out at times, and you know, the option is there if that's what you want to do. But again, it will be similar to wherever you're from. So if you're from the UK, your weekend may be spent just chilling at home. You may be too tired to even do anything because of your job, and just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. So about lifestyle, I just want to make like a little disclaimer that everyone's experience in Dubai is different, and I think a big factor is where you come from. That will determine the experience you have in Dubai, and again, you have to keep that in mind. I can only speak as someone from the UK who has come here, and I can only share my experience as someone from the UK. I cannot speak for any other citizen from anywhere else in the world except the UK, okay? So for me, as a British citizen coming to Dubai, I live a comfortable life. I'm very happy with, you know, everything I've experienced so far. I'm happy with my salary. I'm happy with the amount of money I have left over to do whatever I please. And you know, different people experience Dubai in a different way, and you need to do your own independent research to establish if this is the right place for you. End of disclaimer. So let's speak about meeting people. A lot of people will think that you come to Dubai, you know, you're gonna go out, you're gonna make loads of friends, you're gonna be just out on the town, everyone's doing what you're doing. Again, that is not the case, okay? You come to Dubai, you will make friends. Don't get it twisted. You'll probably make friends at work or when you go out in your building. There's so many ways for you to make friends: beach clubs, brunches, activities, the gym. However, you need to be very comfortable with being by yourself, because you have to understand that a lot of people here are on a journey, or they're transiting through Dubai. So some people come here and they stay for 10 years. Some people come here, they stay for 2 years. There are people here at all different points of their journey, and you have to understand that that person that you've met today, in a few months' time, they may not be here anymore because they're at the end of their journey, whereas you're at the beginning of yours. And I guess my biggest thing that you have to adjust to is just being used to being by yourself. So for me, I feel like I've adjusted really well because one, I've had a lot of family and friends visit me, and two, I can just call them on the phone, and I'm very much okay with speaking to my family and friends via like video chat, and like spending my days alone. And also, I'm very tired, so most of the time I'm actually asleep anyway, so I don't actually feel like I don't have time to feel lonely. But if you're someone that needs someone next to you and you need to have like touching someone, then you need to really consider about moving to Dubai like on your own, and think about ways that you can find friends and adjust accordingly, because Dubai can be lonely depending on your job, your circumstances, how many people visit you, if you're, you know, an introvert or an extrovert. All of these things will play a part. And for me personally, I would say that I've had a very much okay time because I'm a teacher. I work in a school filled with people that there are so many people in there that I am bound to find people that are interested in the same things as me, which I have. I've made really good friends from my job. Outside of my job, I wouldn't say I've made any friends at all, to be honest. I think I've made one friend, and that's really a friend of my friends. So yeah, but I'm okay with that, which is why like I took myself on like a solo day and got used to going to the cinema by myself and eating by myself, because I know I have to be comfortable on my own. So that is something that you have to really take into consideration, because you can obviously feel lonely if you're not able to adjust to that, and then that will make your time here in Dubai kind of negative. So that is a big thing that I think people need to consider before they come here. Next on my list is all things transport and driving. So you come to Dubai, you get off the plane and you come to your accommodation and everything's going well, but you need to go to the supermarket. How are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? You're going to call a taxi. But then you're soon going to realize that getting in a taxi is very expensive. Very expensive. So you need to drive. That is what I was going to. That is what I was coming to, sorry. Driving is essential for being in Dubai. People who don't drive, kudos to you, well done, congratulations, because I don't know how you do it. I was here for 2 weeks. When I first came here, I was here for 2 weeks without a car and I couldn't hack it. I said there is no way, like no way. On my way to work, I go basically on a motorway that has 7 lanes. You can't walk down a motorway with 7 lanes. I do not know how people actually function without being able to drive. I guess they live closer to things than you would live in a more walking pedestrian friendly neighborhood. But I definitely think if you cannot drive, try to learn how to drive and get your license before you come here, because it is not a pedestrian friendly place. Things might be like 3 minutes away by car, but then when you look at the roads you have to go on to get to those places, it is literally like not walkable. So that is a big thing that I realized when I came here. And public transport isn't really something that's the best here. So I know there's like a metro that goes in a straight line, so if you need to go from A to B, that's fine. But if you have to make a pit stop at number 23, you're not getting there because you can't cross, and that's the biggest problem. They also have buses. I don't know how frequent they come. I have seen them around, but again, I'm not sure of the cost and things like that, but there are buses here. I would say do some research into that, but from my personal experience, I would say just get a car, because it is, I'm not sure if it's more cost effective, to be honest, but petrol is cheap. Petrol's like £24 for a full tank. So me personally, I would just say get a car, because you're paying more than that to get in a taxi, and I think long term it's just more convenient and you have a better experience. So for me, a car is an essential thing. As someone who even drove in the UK, a car is an essential thing for me, and in Dubai it's worse than the UK. So let's talk about healthcare. So since coming to Dubai, I've been to the hospital 3 times. Well, I've been there more than 3 times, but I've been there for 3 major reasons. and I had the best experience. I do not dread going to the hospital. I'm not gonna lie. I just went the other day to A&E because I had a really bad pain in my side and I couldn't breathe properly, and the experience was pleasant. As soon as I walked through those doors, they took me to a room, they did all their tests, and they've, you know, referred me to this person and that person, and I kind of have an answer. And you know, they're doing further investigations, but healthcare here is generally pretty good. When you get a job here as part of your like employment package, they will give you healthcare, and it's not free, so it's not like the NHS in the UK where everything is free. For me, I have to pay 10%, and it depends on the insurance that your employer has. That will determine how much you pay. I will say like a GP appointment is like 54 dirhams that I've had to pay, which is equivalent, I think, like 12 or 13 pounds, and that's not bad, because if I call the doctor now, I'll probably get an appointment for today or tomorrow, and they will do everything they need to do. So I personally think that, you know, the healthcare here is really good. Every problem I've had has been solved very quickly. The people that work in the healthcare are amazing. I've had a good experience, and in comparison to what we experience in the UK, I would say Dubai is way better. If I'm gonna get sick anywhere, I'm happy that it's here, even though I have to pay. The only risk is though that the cost, so depending on your sickness, the cost can rack up very quickly. So like the other day when I was in A&E, I ended up spending, I think, like £60, equivalent to what's like £60, and that was just like one visit to A&E, and I know I'm gonna have further costs because they're doing more investigations. So because it's not completely free, there is a risk that you would rack up the costs depending on what it is that you're going through. But the hospitals are much better than the UK in terms of cleanliness, in terms of the doctors there, the nurses there. Now, I have nothing against the doctors and nurses in the UK. I know that they are under a lot of pressure and they are going through so much, and I empathize with them 100%. But I mean, the actual system itself in Dubai is just more convenient, it's more easy. You don't have to fight a whole army just to get a GP appointment and beg and plead with your doctor for them to investigate. Like, if you go to a doctor with a concern, they will do everything else to make sure that you don't have that thing. So if you went to the doctors and you said, I have a third eye on my forehead, they will go and run x-rays and, you know, blood tests or whatever to make sure that you don't have a third eye on your forehead. Whereas in the UK, you will go there and say, my arm is broken, your arm is hanging off, and the doctor will say, no, it's growing pains, or, oh, we don't think it's necessary for you to, you know, have that looked at, but your arm is hanging off. So I think, yeah, healthcare is not under pressure here, and that's probably why it appears to be better. But those are the general things that people ask me about. I will definitely be doing another one of these videos and going into a bit more detail in regards to like my experience as a teacher. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe and put the notification bell on, because that will be coming really soon. If you haven't already, I have a number of vlogs on my channel, so definitely check those out if you want to see the day-to-day life of someone who lives in Dubai. I know I was interested in that, which is why I've taken on vlogging, because there's not much out there of people living in Dubai who vlog just their everyday life and the experiences that they face whilst moving here. But yeah, thank you so much if you've made it this far into my video. I appreciate you so much. Please hit that subscribe button, like, comment any questions you may have. I will definitely answer them in the comments box below, or I'll save them for another video and answer them in that video. But yes, have a wonderful day, keep smiling, stay positive, and be happy.